are given an opportunity to respond and I make a ruling, even if that ruling is, please clarify, that you then need to obey what my order is instead of continuing to argue.
Your Honor, when I ask for clarification and consideration, I believe that as an advocate and as a person who is actually representing the victims who have been victimized in this case and who is representing as much as actually more than an officer of this court, and I represent something, I believe that the state has as much right to express, to request, and to ask for consideration and for an allowance to ask the questions that it wishes to ask as the defense does. I believe, Your Honor, the objection that was made, and I understand what Mr. Shart said, but there are a couple of things at play here. One, Mr. Shart is well aware that Mr. Zachary has said that his client was with him. He has said it in the interview that I'm holding in my hand. He is not being honest with the court when he is claiming that Mr. Zachary had no idea what I was talking about. I literally said Shannon, Demikion, and Muntu, and I asked him how close he was with each of them.
Right, and then we went from that to his girlfriend, and then it was not unreasonable, and the objection could just be, vague, but it was not unreasonable to object to make sure that it was clear what the question was, who the they was in the question. And when I say clarify, that needs to be the end of it. And you need to ask a different question, rephrase the question, and let's move on. And there shouldn't be an issue with it.
Yes, Your Honor. If the state is not allowed to ask for clarification or consideration, that I understand.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Your Honor, when I
ask, a clarification of my ruling, is that what you mean?
When I asked for permission beyond what the court has instructed, I did not know that I should not do that, so I won't do that anymore.
That's not what was going on. You're basically, it seems to say, I'm asking permission to do something other than what the court has just ordered me to do. And so if that's what it is, then no, you cannot do that. If you need clarification of a ruling, then of course you can ask that. And if you want reconsideration, then you can ask for that, but that does not need to go on in front of the jury. When I make a ruling, obey the ruling and move on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I really haven't heard any explanation for what happened. I think it was calculated. I'm moving for a mistrial. In the alternative, Your Honor, I do believe that there needs to be a curative instruction, or at least it needs to be clarified who they was. It doesn't matter what he said in the past. He lied in the past. I've already said that. I know what he said in the past.
All right.
But what he's testifying—
We don't know. You don't know that he lied. You don't know what the truth is and what the lie is if they are inconsistent. And there may even be a reason for that. Although if they're virtually diametrically opposed, there probably is not an explanation. But when you say he lied, we don't know that.
Okay.
Just like Miss Love doesn't know when he lied.
Well, I'll put it like this. Mr. Stillwell was never charged with those crimes. And Miss Love was not asking about what he said in 2015. She was asking about today.
I understand.
And today, he was clearly responding, they meaning Mr. Garlington. And well, it's clear to me. I don't believe it's clear to the jury.
Don't talk while he's talking.
And I believe it needs to be clarified immediately, because of course, I will have an opportunity to cross, but I will probably not have an opportunity to cross for about 4 days. And I don't think we should be misleading the jury on direct.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Ms. Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court, I mean, if the court deems it appropriate that such, and not becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming. All right, y'all can take a break if you want to. I'm going to take a look at this transcript.